Hey, what's up, everybody? JC in the house. Our topic of tonight is our black women settling in the dating game. So, I have a special guest with me tonight, Miss Renee Walsh. She would like to join me tonight. And, but yeah, the question of the day is are black women settling relationships in the dating game, etc. So, everybody gather around JC in the house, you know.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can
Hello?
see you. What's going on?
Hey!
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Everybody gather around. So yeah, like I said, the topic of the night is our black women settling. Um, what's your thoughts about that?
What's my thoughts about black women settling?
Yeah, like you think enough women are settling just to have a man? Because there always a little phrase as just having a peaceful man, you have a man a whole, or sometimes another phrase be like, a lot of women feel like they have to settle just to be with a man, and what's your thoughts about that, bro?
I don't think it's more so. I don't know how I could explain it. I think a lot of black women have just got tired of the wait. They've gotten tired of the wondering when is he gonna come, when is he gonna get it right. Do I think some of them have settled? Yes. I mean, it gets tired in the dating scene just to find a brother that will somewhat act right. And then when you get
Yeah,
a brother that seems like he can act right, you will, you'll be like, okay, I can work with him. I think most times women just get a man that they can work with, not about if they're compatible or anything. It's just like, okay, he's better than the last five that I've dated, and at least he treat me better. Or as a friend of mine said, he called me back.
I thought you said to call you back. But yeah, though, I mean, I feel like a lot of black women are settling because I really don't feel like a lot of women get the type of men they actually dreamed of. The one that they've um, been wanting ever since they listened to Disney shows or Disney movies or Pixar movies. They don't never find that Prince Charming. And I think a
Yes.
lot of women are kind of angry, upset about that, and also have a lot of women that's out there that's just single, comfortable being single, and just being single and not really expecting too much out of men because of all of the disappointment they've had in the past experiences. So they're not really expecting much because, you know, not go on.
I think I don't think that black women really have gotten into the Prince Charming because before the what's her name with the frog? I can't think of the princess with the frog. Prince Charming went for us. Unfortunately, he just went for us.
Yeah,
We weren't gonna find no tall and handsome white dude in the middle of the forest looking for us. We can barely get a call back or a second date or even a date. So no, those wasn't for us. So that the Disney stuff was for, you know, little girls that don't look like me, who don't have that kinky hair,
yeah.
who don't have this melon, it wasn't for me. So as much as I love Cinderella, to be honest with you, if I miss a shoe, there's no brother walking around that's gonna be like, "Hey, you missed your shoe. Here you are. Fit this and be perfect." That's not gonna happen.
I mean,
And then you realize
I mean,
that
they
as
always had
time progressed.
Pocahontas though. I mean, they always had Pocahontas. She was, considered. black a little bit.
Pocahontas, she has straight hair. Okay, she has straight hair, and the man kidnapped her from her village. I mean, like, dude gonna
Yeah,
come in,
but I mean, I was trying
come
to
in
make a
the
reference.
neighborhood
I was trying to make a
and take her.
reference. Yeah, I was trying to make a reference, but maybe that was a bad example. But anyways, I had made a
You gotta
video
think. I
about,
mean, in reality, what do little brown girls have to look up to as far as, you know what, this character, this person that looks like me, you don't see any really big examples of I don't want to say black love, but I want to say you don't see little examples of loving brown little girls. You don't see that. You don't see where the prince is searching for this girl. You know, she's great. She has her kinky hair. You don't see none of that. You see Lily, you see straight hair.
yeah,
So I think like
yeah.
that's the difference is if I don't see anything that looks like me, how can I relate to it? And I think that's a big struggle that we're seeing um, now is what's relatable. And a lot of times you don't see a lot of Disney characters or anything that's saying, "Hey Kiki, hey girl." I don't know you, but I'm just gonna say "Hey Kiki" because I always wanted to say that. I got a couple friends like Kiki, but I always say that to them. Anyways, but I think it's like you're not seeing a lot of anything that you can relate to. I'm not blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm not perfect shape. I'm none of that. I am who I am, and it's taken me a long time to understand that. You know what? Who I am is perfect in God's sight, and you've seen. And I think with me becoming natural, it was a journey of self love, and in that, I think that for me, and I don't speak from my experience, I understood myself more, understood things about me more. So when a brother's telling me that I need to straighten my hair so he could date me, or I need to put a wig on, I have an issue with that because I'm looking at little girls who look like me, who don't see anything on TV and it's not popularized to where they need to, where they're going to be loved for looking like themselves. You don't see that. So you get into this complex to where women, we're trying to look the part. We're trying to make ourselves look, like the Disney characters to have this princess love. And in reality, that's just not for us. We
You
started
said
off
not for you.
someplace totally different with a total different type of love. It wasn't the
Yeah,
princess love.
yeah, you're right about that. I mean, like I said, like I said, we did a poor job as far as showing a good example of positive black women, black men relationships because like I talked to this one about this with my coworker about how every black show is a stereotype, either a single mother, the man's on crack, or the man's broke, or the mom is very overly aggressive. So it's like so many different type of personalities you see on TV from Everybody Hates Chris, Sister Sister, That's So Raven. Uh, you know what I'm saying? And it just kind of paint us as a bad as a bad people overall, generally speaking. So there isn't that many black men and women for us to like look up to as far as what's the ideal dating situation for us, you know. So, you know. But I did
I
make
think
a
that
video
changed.
saying a
I
change.
think that changed over time. I'm sorry.
No, go on.
Hey, Perlisha. How you doing, Smiley? And Renisha, yeah, go ahead and say this, girl. Save this conversation. It's gonna be good. I can already feel it. Anyways, here's what I feel like. I feel like over time it changed on the representation of loving black women. If you look
Yeah.
at in the time frames of, we'll go back to the Jeffersons. George loved himself some Wheezy. look at good times, regardless of how broke James was. And every time James kept losing them jobs, you know, I would get upset. Like, James, you losing another job. You got 3 kids and a wife, and they living in the hood, and you losing a job. Ooh, I used to get so upset about James losing that job. But what did Florida do? Florida never stopped loving him. She still stayed by his side. She did not leave, and he loved himself some Florida, even though, you know, her hair was she was the first natural. You know, she was on there. She didn't do nothing. I don't know if she ever did nothing with it, but he loved her for what she looked like. Then you look at one of my favorites was the Cosby Show. Say what you want about Bill Cosby. That's neither here nor there. I'm talking about Cliff and Claire. Cliff and Claire was something that most people couldn't conceive the idea of a black doctor and a black lawyer living in a nice little place with 5 kids, more in love than ever. That's not something that's normal. And then it became a normal. And then you go on to something like Family Matters. I loved how Carl and I'm gonna say the first wife, the second wife, that was kind of weird. And then you go on to Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv. That was my couple. You have this rich couple, you know, that's so in love, and they're talking about they remember the struggle. Like, I love those characters. And then one of my favorite characters is Gina and Martin, because that was more realistic to me, of like people that I would see or hear or want to see or be around. So I think that it's just the dynamics has changed over time. Of it was the husband was in the household and he just loved his wife, and now we're in a situation to where it's like you see a lot of single women on these TV shows. Like, we'll go back to What's Happening. Mom was single, but Daddy was a dog, but Mom was single. I don't know if you remember that. Might be, a little farther than you remember.
No,
but
I don't know that stuff,
okay, well, that was, and like Raj and Dee, they were raised by a single mom, and their dad was always coming in being slick about something. But I mean, that was like okay, I see that. That's relatable. But seeing the other side of, you had a different array of love, of, from single mom, which was always made me angry, because they always seemed like this single mom who was huge, and just like she was always this big lady with kids and always struggling, and his daddy was his fine whatever. And it used to always make me angry just to see that, because I'm like, should be a different array of representation of loving Black women on TV.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. As far as we don't show any kind of love, any kind of affection towards women, and a lot of times, especially in the music, it's always degrading women, calling them the B words, the H words. It's like there's no trying to build with women, no trying to structure, no trying to set any kind of environment for women to feel protected, to feel covered. And a lot of times we don't really value women like we value our mother, our sister, grandmother, etc. Like, we don't have that same kind of compassion towards another woman who's out there in the street that may be struggling. Like, we want someone to protect and love our own mothers, grandmothers, etc.
That is true. That's very true. You don't see a lot of that. And sometimes when those songs are out that is celebrating Black women, they don't get a lot of play.
Yeah.
Who was his name? T.I. did a song years ago, and I can't think of it. It was a diamond something with diamonds or something. No, it was what was his name with the fro? I can see him. Ludacris did one where he was like celebrating Black women, and so did T.I. They both did those, and they weren't really popularized because they weren't, a thing that's to be cool in this time frame. And I feel like in today's society, especially when you're dealing with and I'm gonna use myself because I am single. Um, you deal with when you're dating a man, you have to figure out which mindset is he, because you have to really listen to pay attention. Is he calling every chick he see a B, a H? You know, if he's, negative, or, oh, all women all the same, y'all H's get down and all this other unnecessary stuff. Or is he the kind that's respectful, and he's going to open up a door, he's going to talk to you, call you back, and making sure he doesn't have any hidden agendas. I mean, dating is, for a woman, is a whole lot of work. And a lot of men don't realize, like, you sometimes done bypass 5 or 6 dudes just to talk to a dude who somewhat act like he got it together. And then only to find out, what's more disappointing is that sometimes those be wolves in sheep clothing. And then
Yeah,
you have to
yeah.
deal
I made a
with
video
that
about
hurt.
that.
And so sometimes you have that one person. I'm sorry. I
No,
try
I
not
said
to
I made a
dominate the
video about.
conversation, but
No, you're good. I
yeah,
mean, I
okay.
made a.
So some
No, I was saying I made a video
okay,
about wool and sheep's clothing. So if you want to check that out, y'all can. But yeah,
okay.
though, you right about that as far as being tougher for women to date. You don't know if he's married. You don't know if he's on the down low. Um, like I said, it's a lot of things that really tough for far as a woman to date a man these days. And it's always been a struggle for women to date because guys aren't being honest with their intentions. I mean, if guys just want to be, casual F buddies, then let that person know. Leave that woman a chance to say yay or nay. Too many lies, too many manipulation, being deceptive, etc. And guys are just not being real with themselves and not being honest with the women. And the sad thing about it is a lot of times brothers they'll string a woman along 2, 3 years, and his intention was just to have sex with you and not really to build with you, and not have no kind of vision for himself and for you as well. So,
I agree
I feel
with
like
that
it's
a
always
hundred
been tough.
percent.
Yeah, I feel like it's always been tougher for a woman to date because you really don't know who's out there. People keep talking about, oh, y'all just keep choosing thugs and gangbangers, but y'all choose
That's
everyday girls and working 9 to 5 jobs. They get good cars, good business, good credit, etc. But it's like you still don't know he may not be good for you. Y'all can have similar core values and similar like dislike, but y'all may not be compatible. So it's always that
I think
extra.
and
Uh,
I think that when
no, go
most
on, go
times when
on.
you see a woman dating a thug, and I'm gonna say this because I got a little experience in this.
Uh
um
oh, uh oh, uh oh. Little Pokey Ray Ray.
Honey,
Okay,
I have
Pokey Ray Ray.
and
Okay.
I'm not trying to put myself out there like that, but I have dated a different array of
Oh,
men,
at
because
least.
you hear the age old thing. Women need to, well, maybe you need to change up who you date. You shouldn't date the same type of man, da da da. So then you do give a brother a chance who's a little different, probably most likely opposite from what you typically like or want. And then he end up being the same exact way. But I will say, for dating a thug, off top, you're gonna feel protected, you're gonna feel safe. He might be a little, some of them are either you're gonna get the ones that's real smart that can tell you some stuff like, okay, I see you, or you can get the ones that's real dumb, like, baby, just be cute, don't talk. We gonna go around friends, don't talk, just be cute. But you get that one, they make you feel protected and safe. They like, anything, like mine would say, baby, anything pop off, I got it. I'm ready. You be looking like, no, no, don't set it off in here. There's nothing going on. But you really want that protection. You don't get that. You see a lot of these videos that is on TV, not TV, but on the internet, where if you see a white lady getting into it, a man is in her face, you'll see a white man, I mean, he'll jump in front of her, don't even know her. He'll fight for her, protect her. We don't always get that. You'll see a lot of times where people will disrespect a black woman and nothing is even said. They looking at her like, just looking. But when you dating a thug, you look at him real fast. You be ready, like, you come near me acting crazy, honey. Ray Ray's coming. He's not gonna let you. No, you're not gonna disrespect me. And that's why you see so many times women are falling prey to these. They choose these men because we want that protection. Now I have come into a different light of knowing better. But I still say that once a woman feels protected and safe, and don't let her be able to trust you, man, that's why you see these women putting money on these men books, bailing them out of jail, taking up with a lot of stuff that they really shouldn't take. Why? Because it's the safety net that you have. You know that if someone is trying to hurt you, you know it's hey Tarsha, how you doing, girl? If you know if someone is trying to hurt you, if someone is trying to come towards you, or you feel unsafe or whatever, you know you can call somebody that's going to protect you. Or if you with that person, you're going to feel that protection. You don't always get that. A lot of times, Black women, we have to be strong, and we don't have a choice. We
Yeah, I
have to
made a post
protect
about that.
ourselves from. We have to protect ourselves not only from the world, but sometimes from even men who look like us. And it's not trying to make it a racial thing, but we are talking about Black women and they're settling. So therefore, you get a man who has a decent job, and he lets you know that, I got you. Don't worry about if anybody try to hurt you. I got you. And you taking that as, okay, this man gonna protect me at all costs. So you fall into whatever it is that he's doing, and then when he start messing up, you still be like, you know what? It's okay. We can work it out. We can work it out because of the safety, the safetiness. You can ask most women who are dating, a man, if they got a man that they know that can protect them, fight for them, you're gonna be like, you're gonna stay with that man because that's really what you want. You don't have to second guess if a person come up to you, if you getting harassed or whatever, you don't have to ever second guess that. But in understanding how Black women, I'm just speaking for myself and some sisters who can and cannot relate to, you have sometimes some of these brothers who don't know any better because they don't understand the power of love and their role that they're supposed to play in our life, and it's not their fault all the time. And some of these brothers are just lost. They don't know how to love because they was never given the tools to love. So therefore, you have some men who feel like if I beat on her, hit on her, that's love. Or if I mistreat her, because look how popularized it is about being. It's been popularized for years about being a player, being with different women. I mean, that mentality has been going on for years, and then we have now women who have gotten to a point where we don't really, and I'm not gonna say we don't need a man, but it's not really necessary if we have one. Because look at society. Society has completely removed the brother out of the household to where we can have babies. We can go get artificially inseminated, and he's not needed. And that's only because majority of the time sisters are sick and tired of dealing with a man who you feel like you raising.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, she don't want a man that she
Hey,
has to be
Lonnie.
a liability. He's still dependent towards her. But yeah, though, I mean, I feel like the whole "you don't need a man" comes from, just men just being disappointed in women in y'all eyes and stuff because y'all, y'all date them when they have money, when they don't, when they broke, and it's just y'all tired of being let down, or tired of the false dreams, the false hope, and y'all just tired of, just being mistreated. So that sounds like why not just be best to be by myself, do what I gotta do with my career, my family, and my kids, etc. And it's like, why not just do that? Instead of dealing with
Gabrielle,
a man.
girl,
What?
everybody do. You right. You are so right. A lot of us do. A lot of Black women, it's not hard to love a Black woman. And as much as people try to make it out to be like, we so difficult. Oh, your mouth. Like, I have a brother who do not date Black women. I mean, he just don't. He always say we mouthy. Y'all got too much mouth and I ain't gonna deal with it. And then I have to look at him and I had to say to him one time, how can you say you don't like Black women when you was born out of one? Without her, you have no life. That's where your life began. So anything that you go through life is because of her, because that's where your life started. And I have to look at him and say, but when you're in trouble, who do you run to? When situations arise, who do you run to? Don't just dismiss us because of our mouth. No, it's not that Black women are difficult. It's just that we have a standard. And if we're already at this standard, we need the man to come up to that standard. And most times Most times brothers don't want to do it. Like they'll tell you, like taking us out on a date. You can read in most comments, they'll be like, for what? You looking like, wait a minute, you don't want to take me out on a date to a nice restaurant, take me to a dinner and a movie? And they'll be like, for what? And then they just want to deal with what's easier versus what's hard. Versus, not even going to say we're hard. I'm not going to say Black women are hard. I'm not going to say that. What I am going to say is that we can be challenging, but when we're already at that standard, we're asking you to at least attempt that standard.
Yeah, you're right about that. As far as the whole guys not trying to initiate dates, going to go out on dates and stuff like that. Um, I just feel like a lot of brothers, they just feel like it's a waste of time, especially she's not really sexually attracted to him. What good does it make me going out on a date? We're just having a good conversation, and yet you still got Ray Ray and Bam Bam on the side that you still have sex with. So it's like, what's the whole point of us getting together, getting to know each other? So for me
Okay,
personally,
but
I
that
don't
go
mind
that
dating a
that can
woman
go
a week.
both ways. That
Well,
part can
yeah,
go
that's
both
yeah.
ways because majority of the time, men that can be a two-way street. But if you when you start showing your sincerity towards a woman, she gonna knock out all of them extra dudes, whatever. Every woman who gets a man who's genuine about her and she's ready to love and he's ready to give her love, she gonna knock out whatever dude, um, old man Sam who paid the rent, uh, Junebug down the street, he get a gas, whatever. She's gonna knock them all out because because she love him and she see this man really is, she can trust him. That's always number one for any female, is that if she can trust you, she's going to love and she's going to be loyal to you. How many times have you seen Black women stay with these men? I mean, they stayed with them through thick and thin, through a lot of foolishness. A brother be doing 20 years, and you will see he got a girlfriend. You see brothers that's
Well,
doing life,
she
they
still
got
having sex on the
girlfriends.
side though, but she at least
Huh?
she's still loyal to the fact that he's in jail though. But you know,
But
he's your
here's the thing: people will talk about those females, but you got to look at it and think about this. It's something that man has offered her to make her be that loyal. It's something.
Man,
And most brothers,
she's
y'all
getting
take it as, oh,
hypnotized.
well, he locked up. What can he do for her? Obviously, he doing more than what you can. It ain't about because he don't have a job that can support her and pay for all the bills.
Does he
So it's something
got
else that he's
hypnotized?
offering her. I'm sorry.
The D, the D. That's what she offering her. The D. That's the only way I see a grown woman taking care of a grown man because he can get her good in the bedroom. That's the only way I
No,
see.
no,
Because a woman
no,
that
that's not what I said. I said when he's locked up and he's doing 20 years, she can't get no sex from him. He's locked
yeah
up. She's not getting. What I'm telling you is this: when you see a woman with a man in prison, in jail, and she's sticking by him through all of this, getting, putting money on his books, trying to help him figure out how to spend her tax money, get however she do, there's something that man is giving her that no man that is free walking around the streets is giving her. So that's why she's as faithful as she is, as loyal as she is to him, because there's something that he's giving her that she's not finding out here. Most times it's loyalty and trust. I'm not gonna say loyalty because sometimes they do cheat, but I'll say most times it's trust and they feel, safe and protected. That's basically all most women want, is that safety and protection. And I'm not saying that, whatever reason that a woman may date a man in jail, that's her reasoning. But I from my understanding, what I've seen is this man was, I feel safe with this man. I feel, that's usually what you hear, or he's offering me conversation, or he's listening to me when I feel invisible, or I got all his full attention. When, most brothers out here, it's hard to get a call back. As my girl say,
no,
call me
it's
back.
not that hard to get a call back. I don't know about all that, but
That's
Like I
Gabrielle
said,
said he's giving her communication, trust, or just the ear. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's most times what most females are. Why you have those men, because you can talk to them about anything they want to hear. She says if he in jail, wait a minute. She said if he,
baby,
she
baby
said if
said
he in jail, he wasn't
loyalty
loyal
and
and he can't
trust.
be
If he's in
trusted.
jail, he
Okay, I
be
don't think I
trusted.
agree
So he's
with
a
that
criminal.
comment. And I'm gonna tell you why. She said, I think it's Bebe, whatever. She said if he's in jail, he wasn't loyal
Yeah.
and he can't be trusted. He's a criminal. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, because as we're seeing more and more in the news now, there are a lot of brothers that's doing time and they didn't do anything. They've been exonerated through DNA and other things. So just because he's doing time don't make him always have done the crime. So that doesn't mean that he, just because he went to jail, there's a lot of brothers that's been to jail and that's been reformed. So I'm not going to sit there and say that, oh well, he went to jail so he's untrustworthy. No, wait a minute. I mean, Jesus had a record.
I mean, it's a double
Just I
standard
mean
though, because not many men
just
gonna sit
throwing
there
that
and work
out
with a
there.
woman like 20 years and stuff. So, like I
I'm
said,
sorry,
that's
what'd you say?
recent. No, but it's saying not many men gonna sit there and wait 20, 25 years for a woman to get out of jail. So, hey, it's your
Okay,
lifestyle that you want, baby.
most times they are, they are. I'm saying, I think, what was it? She said it perfectly. Some women just want communication. And most times those men know that she's gonna live her life, she's gonna do whatever. She's gonna be, lollygagging, and most times they just get fillers until he comes home. They get fillers, and the sisters ain't gonna give everything, but I'm gonna say I ain't gonna say everything that go on. I'm still a sister at the end of the day. Um, but they most women just want somebody that can talk to, that's gonna hear them. We're not doing. Oh Lord,
Okay,
Marlon,
Meek
Jesus
said
help
some
you.
guys
What?
are in jail that has money. He made before he went
Some
in and
guys are in jail that has
gave
money.
it to some, and some of these women they hold them down. You're like, dang, she's like, you're really selling for a dude in prison? Like, that's
I
crazy.
mean, the whole jail situation, it can vary in different ways, which is that does happen. Um,
Nah,
I'll
that's
say
that situation
this.
where toxic love right there.
You
Some of these women they be relieving that type of
what?
stuff. Dudes be getting out of prison and they like that toxic and dudes hitting on them and stuff like that. Some of them they enjoy that kind of stuff though. They
That's
feel like
not
that's
every
actually
dude.
love.
That's not every
That's not
dude.
every dude.
Not
That's not
every
every. I'm
dude who
saying
go to
some.
jail.
I said some. I said some. I
But
didn't say
that goes.
all. I said some.
But then that will go down into that boils down into the woman. And I'll say this: most women, when you truly love yourself from the inside out, you're not about to let nobody mistreat you, talk crazy to you, or do anything to you that will hurt you, because you love yourself. I love myself to a point to where you're not finna talk crazy to me. You're not finna put your hands on me or none of that. I'm just not on that. I'm just not on that. So, and I think a lot of times, sometimes I do suggest this to some of the single women that is out there. I'll say to you, when you date yourself, meaning you go out onto a restaurant, you take yourself out on a dinner, movie, take yourself out on something that you like doing, not with no friends, just with yourself. You get in touch with yourself, learn to be okay with yourself, by yourself, and then being able to go out by yourself, you get a better understanding of who you are. Meaning, so when a dude comes along, and I've seen this and I've had this to happen to me, is when a brother think that if he take you to the Red Lobster, you supposed to go back to his house. And you looking like, brother, I can afford Red Lobster on my own.
Exactly.
So you're gonna have to come with more than that. And you get that whole thing of men trying to figure out, well, wait a minute, how can I get this? How can I, get her in bed or whatever if I try to impress her? And that's not what most women want. Most women just want a man who can hold his own when time comes, meaning he can at least pay a bill, have a job. And most times, some women don't even care if you have a six-figure job or not. I mean, it's nice, but I'd rather have your love and loyalty above all. because we can work towards a six-figure together. What'd she say? I don't get
Yeah,
it.
you're right about that.
Responses.
But yeah, though, I mean, I feel like it's
Mike,
all.
hold on, Mick Austin. Oh, extra question again because I didn't see it. I'm sorry, sweetie.
No, she
She said she
said
had asked a
some guys
question.
are in jail. It has money he made before he went in and gave it to some of these women, or they friends hold him down. But no,
Well,
I
okay. I'm
mean, I
hoping
just,
she'll ask the question again. I'm gonna be looking see if she asks it again.
oh, what's going on, Chris?
Okay, wait.
What's going on, Venus? Victoria,
Now,
what's
okay.
going on,
Now I
everybody?
want to say something to Marlon. Sweetie, what in the world is going on with these comments with you? What's going on? If she loves me enough, she gonna
Well,
think
what happened?
twice of putting her A in jail. What in the world? I must have missed that. I must have missed that somewhere. I don't know. Anyways, I'll say this. Most women want a man that is struggling on top of her financial list
That's
of
that's
her
that's
list is a
false right
financial
there.
stability. Okay,
That's false right there.
I'll give you that,
And
Michael.
women,
I
no,
think
that's
that
false right there.
you're right. I said that. That's typically what you want, but a good woman is going to understand to know how to birth, or I'm not going to say bring forth that better out. Get you a woman who's like, okay, baby, you working at McDonald's, but honey, we gonna build up to the top to where you end up owning the McDonald's. You know, hey, learn how to fry them fries and flip them
Yeah,
burgers.
struggle
We're gonna
knows
keep
real
going to the top.
though.
You got work on that grill. You know, bring me some fresh fries with it, a quarter pounder. I'm just joking. But you want, if a woman, you can't automatically, I think today's society, we've lost touch in the building process. Like he started here, but we're working there. So if you don't have a six figure salary, that's fine. That's fine. Most women are into most black women because we are so successful. We have degrees, we have businesses, we are making our own way. We can afford to date a man who doesn't have it all, who may not have it all. But I feel like that when you really love him, love's going when a man truly loves his person, his woman, whoever he with, because some brothers be with brothers, but we're gonna talk about women today. And when a man truly loves you, I feel like, and I believe this with my whole heart, that he gonna do whatever it takes to take care of you. He gonna work. If he gotta work 2 jobs, he gonna work 2 jobs. If he gotta work 3 jobs, he gonna work to support his family. And y'all work together to build. And I think so many times we want to automatically have it, and there's no building, there's no structure of building. Like you wasn't, what that song say, you went with me and I was in the gym shooting. So I think like it takes, you have to take that time out to love a person where they're at and hopefully build them. You all can build each other up to go further. She said.
Yeah, go and build somebody else and then go out with somebody else. And I don't know about all that.
Because I think today we popularize being the players and we popularize a lot of things that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that we popularize is so unnecessary. I mean, seriously, Black women are one of the leading people of having HIV, and we will popularize having so many different sexual partners. And you look like, what? Why? Like, what sense does that make? That doesn't even make sense.
Nah, I really don't.
That's right, Mick. That's right. That is so right. That's right, baby. I don't know if it's BB or baby. That's right. You right. That's why you stay friends. And I think sometimes just being able to have that friend. Okay, what Chris say? Love takes time, but sometimes it can be on site. I don't even know what that means. Okay. You can be on site. Okay. I hear the conversation. Most Black women will down a brother at a restaurant. Oh, okay. Policia said most. She said, most. I heard the conversations. Most Black women will down a brother at a restaurant. Who said you can't build a brother up? Who said that?
That was
Marlon, you
Marlon.
can't build a man up if he can't build himself up. Support what? Support himself, yes, but you can't go. Wait a minute, hold on a minute. That Marlon, let me address this real fast. You can't build up a man if he can't build himself up. Support him, yes, but you got to find your own way. What? No, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me tell you something. Since the age old time, women have been the best motivators for any man. You give us bacon. You bring home the bacon. Who gonna fry it? You buy a home. You buy a house. Who makes it a home? I think you're talking out of a place of hurt because your comments have been very, seem like somebody's hurt you. And honey, if let me on her behalf, I am sorry. Okay. Whatever she did to hurt you, because your comments is a little rough. Whatever she did to hurt you, boo, I am sorry on her behalf. I'm speaking for any woman in the past that has hurt you. Sweetie, I'm sorry. Please, Jesus, I'm sorry. Forgive us. Because it is some woo. But I'm saying no, most times when you see women can birth men, we can birth out greatness. We can. And if you're biblical, if you're in the church and you saved, then you understand what a Proverbs 31 is. And so it says that, in one of my favorite verses is a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. That's one of my favorite verses of that whole thing. So I'll say this. There's a reason why when you're married or you're in a relationship or you're committed to each other. She said, we got to rescue Marlon. He mad. Oh God, y'all's killing me in these comments. I disagree. You cannot raise a man. Okay, I'll say this. When I say build a man up, I'm meaning if you meet him where he's at. And if you see a lot of these, you can't raise him up, but you can build him. You can support him and speak life into him. Any man, and I'm gonna say this, and sisters can be whatever. You meet people where they're at. And you either you can love them where they're at and you all can build together, regardless, you can add on or whatever. Because I've seen it done. And I'll say this, a lot of times when you see these things, you can sit there and speak life into your man. He having a rough day, stuff ain't going good on the job. He may have a dream of building a bigger, better house than whatever y'all in. You sit there and you tell that man, listen, I believe in you. Which you hear a lot of men say that she ain't believe in me. She ain't believe in my dream. But then you see a lot of these rappers who'll say like they've been with their spouses for 20 something years. And they be like, she was with me when I didn't have nothing. She stayed beside him. She supported him when he was down. She put that positivity in him. And I'm still not saying build him up, meaning a lot of material things. Sometimes it's just the emotional and the spiritual things that most men need. Marlon, you can support me. I agree with everything, but he has to find what
it comes from within though. He has to wonder himself first and foremost.
What did Michael say? I disagree. I bought my own house and made sure and made it home. Cook bacon and okay. Yes, you did, Michael, but I mean, who's out eating the bacon? Just you. I'm just joking with you. Don't get in my inbox. You're going off on me later. When I'm saying it says you can support him, what she said, you can support him, but many women try to fix broken men or try to do stuff for him that he's supposed to do for himself first before he goes out looking for a mate. I agree with you, BB. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. We have to talk to him, assess him first. What kind of man are you? Because some brothers out here in my job, we call him the Romeo man. He's going from house to house, place to place because he ain't got nothing. You got to know the difference, and that's when wisdom comes in. That don't mean take care of every man you get, and that's right. And I agree with BB. You can't fix a broken man. He got to do that himself. But if I see a brother that's working a job and he is supporting himself the best he can, okay, care. You got a job. A job is a job, as long as it's legal. That's what Marlon was trying to say. Oh Lord. Well, thank you for translating for Marlon, because I really,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, killing these comments. But I mean, unfortunately, some men pretend to be something they're not. Girl, what you said? Some men pretend, honey. Wolves in sheep clothing. Wolves in sheep clothing. There's a lot of men like that. Did you see that comment?
Yeah, I saw it. But now, BB said you can't support him. But many women try to fix broken men. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And that's bad on women. Don't try to raise him. He's not your dependent. He's not your child, you know. So he's not trying to do right by himself, then he don't really need to be out there pursuing a woman because if you go
Yes.
biblical, God gave man responsibility before he gave him a woman. So if he can't hold down his
Exactly.
own, then why is he out there pursuing women? And that's what we gotta
Exactly.
do a better job with trying to focus on ourselves first, get ourselves where we need to be at before we go out there try to pursue a woman and bring her chaos she already had peace in her home, you know?
Yes. 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 I agree with that 100%. And if you heard what I said earlier, I said you cannot raise a man. I said that earlier. I said I was talking about you not raising him. But I'm saying if a man is working and doing his best, and just because he may not be able to take you to we're gonna go back to, I'm not gonna say Red Lobster this time, I'm gonna say Joe's Crab Shack. Just
Oh
because he
nah,
can't take you to Joe's, huh?
she was BB said and he said in most cases he'll grow resentful if you try to fix him, and that's where the cheating comes in. Nah, I disagree with that because a man can cheat on a woman that's doing everything for him. He just feels like he wants somebody else, which is why a lot of brothers cheat. It has nothing to
If,
do with the woman. It's all within yourself, what you feel like
if
you want
it's
to
in
do.
him to cheat,
So
he
it's
gonna
a
cheat
good thing.
regardless, no matter how good you are to him.
Yeah, it don't matter about all that. I mean, like I said, we just cheat just to do it. Ain't because of a woman and stuff. Just because we just feel like we want our holes somewhere else. So
I will. What'd you say? Okay, Marlon, I'm reading. I'm understanding now. Okay, here's what I'm saying to you. He says, I'm not saying don't support him, but everybody should be able to support each other at the end of the day. Make him okay. Here's what I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna tell you what the advice that my grandfather, may he rest in peace, he gave me. He said, if a man wants you, he wants you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. That man gonna do whatever it takes to be with you. So that means if he gotta work 3 jobs to put himself in a better position to be able to take on you, then he's gonna do it. Most men, when they want something, they're gonna work for it, they're gonna do whatever they gotta do to get it. So that means if he living in a 1 bedroom apartment and he know that he's gonna be with a woman who may have 2 kids, that's herself and 2 kids, any common sense would say you're not gonna welcome them in. Y'all gonna have to put together, and he gonna have to be able to get a 2 bedroom, a 3 bedroom, or something to be able to support her. It's all about what what you all can bring together, building each other up. What I'm saying is it's not supposed to be one-sided. That shouldn't be. It shouldn't be just one-sided. It should be what you all can do, bring to the table for each other and build each other up, not just a one-sided thing. I'm not saying don't support him. Everybody should support
yeah,
each other, but
yeah.
hey,
Austin
I'm
said.
trying to go back to some of these comments that I may have missed.
Austin said so few
I mean, at
men.
the same time, you got to be. I'm sorry.
No, I was just reading a comment. Meek Austin said so few men that women are destined for a relationship, so they accept these poorly raised men. We have to raise our sons better. Yeah, yeah, I do agree with that. We have to women and men got to raise their son better to have discipline. And I feel like it's tough for a lot of men who grew up with a single mom because they don't have that type of leadership, the type of voice to know how to protect and love a woman. You know what I mean? So, it's funny how we have all these videos telling what women's supposed to do, but where's the self help books for men teaching men how to become men? We have all
Wait
these.
a minute.
So what?
Wait a
No,
minute. I have to disagree with that on you
what you
with that
mean?
because I have a son that I'm raising. Now, I cannot teach him how to be a man. I cannot. But I can teach him on how to be a responsible adult, meaning you go to work, you pay your bills. When you have a family, you make sure you have made enough money to support that family. That's what I can do. Now, all the other life skills he will get, but I will not. I can't say that because now I can teach my son how to be a gentleman, how to treat a woman. Like my son now, he knows he has to open up a door for me.
But a
He
lot.
knows now how you the I mean just different things. And I think a lot of times we give men pass because you was raised in a single father, single mother, single parent home. You don't have nobody. No, I don't guess
I'm not, I'm not,
that's
I'm
not a
not
reason.
saying that. I'm not saying like that because a lot of men they know, but you got to realize that the type of woman that a lot of women, the dudes, women are really go after, especially when they're younger, aren't the type of dudes that's doing all that, gentleman type of stuff. Just like you said about the thugs, like that's one thing. A lot of women they kind of gravitated, especially they was in their high school, middle school days. You know what I mean? So. Cause like a lot of single parents, they tell men to be gentlemen, be lady, be hold the door open for her, pay for dates. But when you get out in the real world and you are out there and dating, and then you run into a female who don't appreciate all that, it makes you second guess yourself and everything that's been taught down by your mother and stuff because you really had that kind of guidance from a father or a male mentor, counselor, etc.
Yeah. Um, who was it? I love what Perlisha was saying. I'm like that too, girl. We ain't gotta be no fancy restaurants, which sometimes people feel like that you have to be in a fancy restaurant. If you know me, honey, I'm not an expensive date. We can take a dinner and go for a walk by the waterfront, and I'm cool with that. Or we can, most men don't realize how simple it is just to date a woman. Like you can go get a burger or something from a takeout and then go sit in the park and look at the
What's
stars and
up,
talk.
Keisha?
Get to know that person. You can take you can have a $20 date for real. And most women, if you see these movies or see different things, it be the simple stuff that people be like, "Oh, it's so sweet." I mean, they at the park or they at doing something, sweet. And you see, like, even when you see those little old classic movies, and I can't think of one off the top of my head, where them men used to have them pickup trucks and then just put the thing in the back, the blanket in the back, and they sit eating and looking at the stars and talking. Or they driving over by the cliff and they just talking. A lot of times, those are simple dates that people overthink dating. Dating doesn't have to be. You can meet somebody in the park for ice cream.
BB said most men don't have to date women anymore. Yeah, she's right about that. Like I said earlier, what's the point of a man trying to get to know you and get to know your deeper, darker secrets and want to meet your family and stuff, and it's like you still got other dudes you maybe messing with on the side. Like it kind of counteracts what's the purpose of getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they're not even
Hey,
attracted. She's not
Keisha.
even like physically attracted to him. It's like he really wasting his time. To a lot of men, that's what they feel. But like I said, you date to
Oh,
collect data. You date to just have a good time, experience, and guys got to quit trying to feel entitled just because you went on a date that she owes you sex, etc. Like, nah, you just had a date
yeah.
where
I think
whether
that
she want to
that
give you
really
something or
has.
not. Yeah,
I
too.
think that's really gotten out of hand. Um, I'll say I was at a bridal shower and the lady had said to me, I was like, I have a date. I'm supposed to go to and I didn't go because I was at the bridal shower. It was really good. And she said, well, why are you dating? And I said, I don't know. She said, anytime you date, you're supposed to date with a purpose. And so that's really been sticking with me. Like, okay, what's the point of me dating? But I think a lot of times you have to make your it's a figuring out like what is the person's intentions on dating me. Are you just dating me just to try to sleep with me? Are you dating me to see if we can grow into something, or why are you dating me? But then a
Yeah.
lot of what I'm seeing more times is most men, and we talk about women, having all these high expectations. Some of these men be wanting you to look like the Instagram models. I'm not finna do all of that. I don't do all of that. I am a natural haired lady with, whatever. I'm not doing all of that. They want you to wear the wigs, the weaves, and all this hair, nails, and everything else, and eyelashes and stuff. And then you looking at them like you look at my outside and not on my inside, and then you wondering, you know, you don't know. Like my grandma used to say all the time, uh, short, what is it? Short skirts, long problems. Long skirts, short problems. If there is no commitment, you should be able to date different people to get to know situation. I don't know, Mick. That's a good. That's one I don't know. She said if there is no commitment, you shouldn't you be able to date different people to get to know if they're worthy or if they're more serious in a relationship?
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
I do
yeah, I don't
think,
have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with dating. That's cool.
I do think that you should date until you know what's going on. I do think you should date different people until you know what's going on. So one of you all make known your intentions. Okay, I'm ready for this to be serious. But at the same time, in the beginning, don't play games with a man or a woman. You let them know that they're not the only one, and that's just being real with them, because you don't want to make somebody believe that they're the only one and then they're not. You're dating several different dudes, or you dating several different women, and this one thinks she the only one, and then there you go, got a Craig situation and from Friday. You don't want that. But I'll say, yeah, that's right, baby. Date many, but don't sleep with them. Exactly. But most women, we got you got the one you sleep with, and the others you date. It just happens
Exactly. See, that's
sometimes.
a messing
Not
it
kind
up though. It's not somebody date you date whoever, but if you having sex with at least one or two of the guys, two out of four, it's gonna mess up as far as dudes actually trying to put their effort and trying to date you and court you seriously. You know.
but here's the thing. If you putting yourself in there, you putting your effort in there. Most women, like I said earlier, they gonna all those other dudes gonna disappear. Mr. George who paid the rent, he gone. Ray Ray who go to get your gas, or Floyd who pays your tickets, the electric bill man, whoever, they gonna go away, because when you got something good, you're not gonna mess it up. You gonna sit there and you gonna be with that person. You gonna go through the struggles with that person. Look at Florida. I'm sure Florida Evans could have been with another man that would have probably made more than what he made, more than what James made. I'm sure she could have been with somebody else, but she loved that man. No matter how many times he kept losing them jobs. Oh my God, he kept losing them jobs. She still stayed with him. She said, okay,
Yeah.
Marlon, once again, on behalf of every woman that has hurt you, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry, brother. I am so sorry that she hurt you. We hurt you as women. I'm sorry, because you have some real stuff that be like, what? I'm still reading your comments. I have apologized. Stop assigning roles to different men.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Your
I was
low ass
given
opinion gonna keep.
that was an example.
You're not gonna find you. You keep dealing with jokers and stuff. Like you're not gonna be able to find you though.
But you have to, I mean, I'm not, hold up, wait a minute. Let me say that. I'm not saying that that's me. Let me make that clear. That's not
I'm just
me.
saying, generally speaking, like
But
you
I
be
just
able to
want to
find
put
you.
that out there. That's not me. I will say this. In today's society, you have to be real about the situation. It's like that movie is trying, Princess Tiana, when she looking for a prince, was that not Princess Tiana? That old little story where they had to kiss so many frogs to get the prince. That's really what you doing. Cause you know how many times you done been with a dude, you think he's the cool guy, he's the nice guy, and turned out he's one of the dirtiest guys you ever dated in your life. No, baby, I'm not
Yeah.
saying nobody's gonna admit that they're doing all that, but I'm saying Because sometimes when you first meet a guy, he'll ask you, am I the only one?
I know you
Me,
say
I
that.
just can't, I can't play that game. If you are the only guy that I am dating, I'll say yes. If you're not, like, no, I have somebody else that asked me on a date too. Either you step up, either that's going, I don't know, maybe that
I don't know
has
why
worked,
you
that has
worried
not
about
worked
the
for me.
next man though, but I mean
Get
that's
to
each his own.
each other. But if you all heard what I said you tell the truth from the beginning. Either we gonna be exclusively dating or we not. That's where we get that mix up, and you get people sitting here arguing and going and acting a fool because they thought they was the only one and they wasn't. You tell somebody from the beginning what your intentions are. If you're not in it to look for a relationship and you just looking for some booty, tell them that's what you want. I'm just here for the booty. I'm not here for anything. I'm not trying to be in a relationship with you. I'm not trying to love you. I'm just trying to get some and go on.
Yeah.
Tell that woman that, tell that man that what you want. If you want a relationship, you tell them what you want. That's when you clarify
Exactly.
some thinking. Dating is effing each. What I'm saying is you got to be upfront on what you want. If you tell me you want to take me on a date, sure, we'll go on a date, or we'll talk on the phone, and you make it known what you're looking for. Oh, I want a relationship. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm in search of is a relationship. If that what that person want, then they'll stay. If they don't, let them go. Sometimes we try to make people be what we want them when they've told us that what they didn't want from the beginning. That's what you do. You tell that person from the beginning what your intentions are, because most men will tell you quick, I don't want a relationship. I'm not trying to be in a relationship. But what you say? That's when that's when you clarify
Yeah, but that's when a lot of
think
women try to change the dude's mind. He told the women up front, look, I'm just trying to smash, just trying to look for a good time and stuff. But a lot of women they feel like, okay, well, if I give him some sex, then he'll might change his mind, and you got to do better as far as for thinking that sex is gonna keep a man or let him, just exclusively just talk to you. So you gotta just be honest. Like I said, I always say, be honest with your intention, state your purpose. You just want to have sex, you want to have a good time, date, relationship. Tell that person, let that person know, let that person decide that what they want to. And keep it moving. Ain't no need to be trying to lie, be manipulative. There's so many people out here, and you bound to find somebody that they got the same core values that you have. So why are you
that's
gonna sit
right.
there and lie? Why you
That's
gonna
right,
why you
Mick.
gonna lie for them? You know, go out here and damage the person. You know, Trigger
Okay,
somebody
BB.
wrong. Like, that's not cool.
Okay, BB. To be honest with you, I agree with you. Some men will they'll play that little game with you, but then some men are genuinely honest. But as I am, I'm quick to cut you off. The first minute that he says he did, if I feel like he's not genuine, then just say bye. I mean, that's why you don't tell a man what you want, because then he becomes what you want and not
Not
who
too much.
he is. You don't When you're in the beginning, don't ever tell a man what you want. You tell him, you find out on your own who he is. Don't tell a man, well, oh, I want a man that's this and that. No, because you'll see, you gonna see Mike trying to play ball with your son, taking, just because he know that you want a good father, and then just until he get it, he gone. No, don't tell a man what you want from the beginning. Let him show you who he is. If I tell him I just want we start sleeping together, then I catch feelings, and I'm like, no, baby, women. First of all, we are in a movement where women are allowed to change their minds. We are allowed to change our minds. Things happen. We're humans. Men change their mind, women change their mind. That's right, Mick. That man will, won't he? He will. I just think a lot
Yeah,
of
man.
times,
That's
and
never
I think that's
lie.
where we begin to settle. It's because we've been dating for so long and we really want this relationship, and it's just not coming the way that we hoping it come along. So therefore, in the meantime, we might be sleeping with this man, and because we've been sleeping with him so long, next thing you know, we trying to settle for whatever he give us, That's not even a commitment. It's just a situationship. And so we sit here with this man trying our best to hope that he'll change his mind. That if the more the freakier, nastier the sex we give him, he'll want to be like, okay, well, let me be your, let me be your, let us be together. And a lot of times I feel like, especially I'm gonna say with some men, they want a woman to prove that she's wifey material, that she's, that so that Jay, that's why we need to do a show on roster dating. Oh, I like that. Okay, that's why a lot of times we see men, and I'm very protective of the word wife, and I'll tell you why. It's sometimes men will tell you, well, I want to see if you could cook and clean, and they want to see if you can cook and clean, and they want you to prove that you're wifey material, but you're not a wife. And I think a lot of times women take on that role to show a man that they're good. I'll give you good sex, I'll cook for you, I'll clean for you, and I got my own job. Meanwhile, the man ain't did nothing but told you he asked you were you wifey material. Women catch feelings, and he just wants a sex buddy. But wouldn't you?
Yeah, but like I said before, just be honest with your intentions, man. Like, what's so hard about just being honest and being straightforward with somebody? Like, why try to string somebody along and make it hard for the next man, or next woman, Just be real up front from the beginning.
Yeah.
I just don't get that. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and waste my time going on all these dates. I'm just looking to smash. That doesn't make any sense,
Okay. So did you see Marlon's comment? Lord Marlon, you got one I can answer. Jesus.
What did you say?
Did you hear? He said, "But wouldn't you want a man to prove he is husband
Yeah,
material?"
he has to prove himself too. You can't just be wanting a woman to do everything and he doesn't have nothing to, no criteria sheet too. He got to prove that he can provide, protect too.
But wouldn't he prove? Here's the thing that I don't understand with that. How, if you're dating them, wouldn't you see if they're husband material or is wife material? If you're dating them, wouldn't that something that would come in together naturally? Like if I'm dating you.
I just feel like y'all agree to be exclusive. Then you kind of see, more than just dating because y'all more just going on dates. Y'all actually every 3 weeks. You're actually dating, you're actually in a relationship, so you kind of see that person is right for you, and vice versa.
I don't know. I'll take bonds into a different type of level. For me, for some women, they're saved, and so there's a certain criteria that it comes with them. So it's different, meaning that when you're saved, you can't just date any old body. You can't, because you want to be equally yoked, and so that does become a very big issue in the dating scene, especially in that pursuit for Christian is being equally yoked. I think just in dating in general, you really have to take your time and shift through what you want and know what you want while you're dating and be upfront about it. If you want a relationship, if you want to be married, if you want all those things, because you don't want to waste time being with a man, sleeping with a man for two, you can sleep with a man for 2 years, and all of a sudden, he pop up and he get married, or he tell you, he didn't want to sleep with you, he didn't want to not sleep with you, he didn't want to be with you, and he's want to be with somebody else. I feel like the dating scene is becoming toxic, waste of dumb. Marlon, you know what? I feel like the dating scene is what you get what you put in.
Yeah.
It's not gonna always be perfect, but at the same time, a lot of times, and I'm guilty of this myself, we stay in situations when we should have been gone. We stay in situations and we want to think the situation's gonna change, it's gonna get better, and we should have been gone. If a man is hitting you, baby, leave. Who cares what anybody got to say? Baby, leave. Please leave. Don't stay with no man who hit you, belittle you, talk crazy to you. No, get up and go. I promise you,
Yeah.
somebody else will come your way.
Yeah. Run for his run.
But a lot of times, once again, women and men, we stay too long. When we see red flags, we ignore them. Oh,
Okay.
you see
Keisha
that?
said, so many individuals date while they're trying to heal. Okay. Use dating as a band-aid or a problem solver. Yeah, you're right about that, Keisha. You know, he would just be dating just to be dating, just instead of taking time, 3 months, a year to heal within themselves. They just want to get out of a relationship and be back in a relationship within the next 2 to 3 months, or or even weeks. So you gotta take time to heal and process things and self-evaluate what you did right and what you did wrong. So you're gonna be damaging to somebody else. So
So, what is your suggestion for them in the process of healing? What's your suggestion for healing? How to heal?
I mean, as far as healing, you gotta figure something. You gotta figure out who you are. Because when you're with somebody, your name becomes attached to them. So figure out what you want to do. Like go to the gym, go traveling, you get massages, playing video. It defines who you are, with or without that person, what you like to do, and get therapy, get help, and just try to detoxify your mind and just get away somewhere, just go somewhere new, just sit down and just talk, think out loud, talk to yourself sometimes, be in that peaceful mindset. Like I said, get a massage, stuff like that. So you will have that mindset going forward,
I will say, this: when you get out of a relationship, for me, I don't feel like you should even look at another relationship or even think about dating or entertaining anyone until you have completely gotten over the last person.
Yeah,
And I mean, where their number's not in your phone, unless it's like y'all share a child or something. But their number's not even your phone, that they don't even cross your mind, that, that's when you are ready. Because sometimes people will be like, oh, well, we stopped dating 3 months ago. But then the whole conversation was, my ex used to do this, my ex cheated, my ex did this, my ex. Well, X that person out when you going to talk to me. X them out, because I don't want to hear it. I want to know where you at now and where you're going. And I feel like when you are in that position and you have been hurt and you're trying to move forward, that is the time frame for you to get back to yourself, get back to being you. If you know before you and that person start dating that you used to go out, go out. You used to go to poetry bars, go to poetry bars. If you used to go to, whatever you used to do, get back to yourself, but make sure you are completely over that person. If it was the whatever the reason why y'all broke up, self replay the relationship. Where did things go wrong? Write down a list. What was the good? What was the bad? Where did things go wrong? How can we, how can we move on? I regret the fact that I was still trying to heal from my ex and it backfired on other women. I wish I could take. Oh, Marlon. See, y'all look at how a good apology works. But you know what though, Marlon, you're not the only one. There's a lot of men and women that do that. That they're not
yeah,
over their ex, and then next thing you know, they mad and they want somebody to hurt people, hurt people.
yeah. A lot of broken people already broken and just need to be single and heal instead of trying to get out there and hurt other people. Like just take time, enjoy the season by yourself, enjoy your time being alone, and Just the fact
sometimes
she,
being single is a blessing.
yeah, yeah. But what
Sometimes
about the
being
women?
single is the blessing. And a lot of people miss that. When you in a single season, that's your blessed season. That's your
Yeah.
season to be able to know your boundaries, to know who you are, to know how, what you can do for yourself, because you're so focused on yourself that you get a better understanding of, okay, so if I had somebody, like, I'll take myself. Me being single right now is great because the what hours I work, I'm cool. I don't have to come home and answer to nobody. If I don't want to cook, I don't have to cook. If I just want to go get something takeout for me and my child, I go get takeout. I don't have to worry about hearing nobody's mouth, where you at, who you with, none of that. I just go on. I come and go as I please. Whatever I want to do, it's my time to do what I want to do when I want to do it and how I want to do it without having to worry about another person's thoughts and feelings. I can do what I want to do. I am in control of what, where I'm going and what I'm doing. Now, once I am in a relationship, we'll visit that subject when it comes. I will then, reprocess things and learn how to I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. I'm gonna be quiet for a moment because I can't think.
Well, like reprogram or something.
Yeah. Because sometimes that's what it is. A lot of women, we've been single for so long. A brother come in, you be looking at him like, hold on, wait a minute. I could do bad all by myself because I'm quick to tell I could do bad all by myself. I can do this by myself. And some men will be like, then do it by yourself. So you have to learn when you're dating somebody to have to sit back and understand that if he's like, I used to be really bad about, okay, well, give me the check. Show him that I don't need him. No, now if he grab that check, I don't say nothing. When he opened the door, thank you. Just a little common courtesy. If he says, he want to go do something, cool, let's go do it. But I think so many times when we trying to prove that we're so independent that it's a turnoff. And so then therefore, when all the brothers that was coming to you that could do, we ignored them. And now we settling for, JoJo at the restaurant, at the BP, we not there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying that when better was in your face, you didn't want it. If that makes sense. My discernment was turned
No,
up.
I
What
mean,
am I
like I
saying?
said it do make
Keisha,
sense though.
girl, what you said, girl, that's a ooh, girl. I felt that one exactly. When you're in your single season, you get to see a whole lot about it. You see a whole lot about different men. You, especially them church men that be coming up to you, extra holiness and extra feel, and you be looking like no, 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 sir. What's the turn off, BB? What's the turn off? Everything wrong with that. There's everything wrong with that. What do you? What's wrong?
But yeah, though, I gotta wrap it up though.
Yeah, yeah. I got to be at work in a few hours, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta
Girl,
wrap it
Keisha,
up pretty soon. My phone about to die.
Keisha, girl, don't get me started on them preachers.
About to
Girl, don't
dead,
get me
so
started on them preachers because I got one preacher now. I ain't even gonna say his name because it's on my Facebook. But honey, he's just as dirty as he can be. Wolves in sheep clothing. Honey, he owes me money to this day. Got fooled. But anyways, yeah, I gotta get ready to go. It's late here. Thank you for having me.
we can, chop it up. But yeah, thank everybody for watching. Y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel, share this video with everybody as well. And thank you, everybody. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace.